Hey, I'm Steve Mignonti here in Bogart, Georgia at the Tony Townley Collection, where on October 24th and 25th, Richmond Auctions will be auctioning about 105 vehicles in a two-day barrage of selling. And one of the vehicles to be auctioned is this 1969 Yenko 427 Camaro. Now, you got to remember, this is an unrestored vehicle, quite a survivor. And Yenko built 201 of these cars in 1969. This is one of them. It's in the Yenko registry, etc. It's unrestored. It's very much original. And with that said, you can remember, 1969, Chevy would sell you an SS 350 or an SS 396 Camaro, but no such thing as an SS 427. To get one of those from the factory, you had to go to the Central Office Production Order and file order number 9561, which included the L72 425 horsepower 427 and a 4-speed or automatic transmission 410 Posi rear axle, and the cowl induction hood right here is all part of the 9561 sports car conversion. So this is a 427 Camaro built by Chevrolet, but only thanks to the COPO system did this car get built. So let's take a peek at that 427 under the hood. Again, 425 horsepower, 427 cubes. Don't confuse it with a 396 or a 350. It's a whole different thing. And by the way, these were based on regular Camaro Sport Coupes, not Super Sports. So you have a standard Argent grille, no SS here, just the bow tie, and that's correct for the 9561 Yenko 427 cars that were built in Pennsylvania, finished in Pennsylvania by Yenko shop. So let's open the hood and check out that big 427 rat motor and see how we look. And there it is, the mighty L72 425 horsepower 427, built and installed at the factory thanks to the COPO 9561 order that was placed by Yenko Chevrolet to have this car built. But beyond that, what we see here, of course, is the Winters aluminum intake manifold right there, Holley 4-barrel carburetor, and cowl induction, which was part of the COPO 9561 right here, cowl induction. It's a little bit different stuff you'd find on an SS or something, because the cowl induction flap is not there. It's always open, which is fine by me. And of course, this being a COPO car, it's not based on an SS, so it's basically a Camaro Sport Coupe with the Argent grille, no SS here, so the bow tie here is correct. Found on the COPO cars right there, no Super Sport logos in the front. And other details added at Don Yenko shop in Pennsylvania include headers, which are better than the cast iron manifolds these would have been born with. And of course, also we see an engine torque strap right here on the driver's side. So when you dump the clutch to explode off the line in a drag race, it doesn't break the motor mount or harm the motor mount. So there's basically a turnbuckle here, which keeps the motor planted down. That's something that was added by Don Yenko's shop for sure. Also, we see a fiberglass plastic flex fan right here, which doesn't rob power as much as a fixed steel-bladed fan would. Now, while some Yenko 427s were built with turbo 400 automatics, some of them has the M-21 4-speed, a Muncie, a tough transmission. Gotta love a stick shift for the big block, nothing better than that. This does have the Stewart-Warner gauges for oil pressure, for engine temperature, and even a tachometer on this side of the steering column. And again, Stewart-Warner gauges are aftermarket pieces, not installed by Chevrolet, but again, they do the job of protecting the engine from abuse and neglect, so good to have those on board. Bucket seats, of course, up front, no console. Again, the COPO cars are strippers. It was all about the engine and the power plant that got these things down the quarter mile. Let's take a peek toward the back of the car and see what else we can find. More Yenko goodies to make the car more effective on the drag strip are traction bars. They bolt onto the leaf springs to prevent axle hop. And of course, more Yenko plumage and signage around the sides. And here at the tail, right here, Yenko and 427 to warn the guy in the Hemi Cuda behind you or the Mustang 428 that you better not mess around. This is a pretty serious muscle car, capable of low 13, high 12-second quarters. An animal, really, on the street or strip. So opening the trunk, we find proper applications of Zolatone, and again, unrestored car. This stuff's been in here since 1969 when this car was built. And in the trunk we see a Stewart-Warner electric fuel pump right there, certainly added by the Yenko folks to supplement the mechanical pump on the front of the engine to make sure fuel pressure stays steady for the Holley carburetor up top. And lots of paperwork inside. And provenance like this is priceless, and we'll check this out and see what we find. And here's some paperwork from Yenko in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, new car inventory, and here it is right here, Fathom Blue, or Fathom Green Camaro right here, going off to Francis Chevrolet. And this confirms this car, this is paperwork from this car when it was modified by Yenko. And here is more paperwork here. These are dealerships that supplied and retailed the Yenko Super Cars. One of them here is Francis Chevrolet, which is referenced in that first piece of paper. And here it is, Francis Chevrolet in Bridgeton, Missouri. There it is right there. And somebody had rally wheels on it at some point. And speaking of previous owners, it's nice when you have advertisements in local classifieds showing the car. And here it is right here, 1984. Here it is, the want ad on the cover. There it is, 69 427 Camaro. And then we open up and it says here, it's been blueprinted and balanced, and here it is right here, cover picture, and here it is describing the Yenko 427 Camaro, and here they wanted $17,500 back in early 1980s, so that seemed like a lot of money, but if we only knew at that point in time, and we'll find out what this one is worth on the 24th or 25th when it sells at auction.